Hey soldiers, even the Democrats have started to back away from Joe Biden and his energy policy. They realize it's no good for the country, and they also realize it's not a winning solution if you're trying to get elected to office. So we're going to go over that. Also, did you know that this cutback in production applies mainly to the United States? OPEC Plus has said that they're going to keep prices pretty much stable in Europe and Asia. The production cuts are going to be targeted to the United States. And of course, we've got, the United States out there talking about, well, OPEC is siding with Russia. OPEC Plus, Russia's a member. Okay, so United States, are you really surprised that a member of OPEC Plus would do something that was not in the interest of America, but in the interest of OPEC Plus? We've got children running the nation in large part if they're incredulous that OPEC Plus is doing what's in the interest of OPEC Plus. Let's get into it and talk about the fact that Europe, okay, Saudi Arabia lowers oil prices for Europe, but raises them again for the U.S. as the White House says OPEC Plus is siding with Russia. Whatever, nonsense. Saudi Arabia is raising oil prices for U.S. buyers, following a similar move a month ago. So, a double whammy. Meanwhile, state-run Saudi Aramco lowered prices in Europe and left them largely unchanged in the Asian market. The price moves come after OPEC Plus slashed production quotas, which the White House said aligns the group with Russia. Now, look, here is our esteemed president, Joe Biden, talking about what's going on. Listen very closely to what he says, because the man is going to contradict himself in the same sentence. It's not even going to take another sentence for him to do this. All right. He's talking about the state of energy in this country, which he could change with an executive order. And Democrats are starting to realize that. Listen to him. Here he goes.
Every kitchen table cost is going to go up, not down. And I realize costs are going up on food. And I was able to bring gasoline down well over $1.60, but it's inching up because of what the Russians and the Saudis just did. There's nothing we've ever set our mind to we've not been able to do. Nothing.
Okay, so you see him. He says that, hey, prices are going to go up. That's the first thing he says. So up from here. He acknowledges that. And then he goes on to say that he was able to bring prices down. But in the same sentence, he says they're going to go up because of the Saudis and the Russians. So look, Joe, why don't you just do whatever it is you did before to lower prices? You sounded like that was independent of the Saudis or the Russians. He actually could do something, but his handlers will never allow him to. He could open up our capacity here in the United States. And guess what? The Democrats agree. Here is the former president, the head of President Obama's Economic Advisory Council, Larry Summers.
Look, we made a mistake by canceling the Keystone Pipeline. We made a mistake by slowing down all kinds of permitting activity. We made a mistake by being hostile as a country to natural gas.
Okay, so you see there, Larry Summers is right up front. He's just saying, hey, this is the mea culpa. We made a mistake. Now, everything he mentioned is reversible, okay? We can change our attitude toward the types of energy that run this nation. And at the same time, we can still pursue renewable technology. This is something that society has to be weaned onto and weaned away from the fossil fuels because, look, they are finite, okay? So if you're thinking long-term, we're going to need some other energy sources. And now is the time to start to develop those, okay? But you're not going to turn on a light switch and have us just make this sea change immediately. And look, Warren Buffett believes that we're a long way from being done with oil. Oil transportation is a large factor in his Burlington Northern Santa Fe rail profits. And of course, we've been over it a time or two here on the channel with regard to Warren Buffett upping his stake from 16 to 50% in Occidental petroleum. So from his standpoint, he believes oil is not going anywhere. It's going to be around in such a way that it's going to be making people money. The other thing is, once I see Joe Biden get into Air Force One and it has solar panels on the wings instead of high-octane jet fuel in those wings derived from oil, then we can talk. Once I see the Beast, you know, that presidential limo, once I see that, you know, plugged in somewhere, able to carry, the thing weighs damn near as much as a Sherman tank because it's heavily armored and equipped with all types of defensive mechanisms. Great. But once I see that capability plugging in to the wall, then hey, you got me. Okay. But we're a long, long way from that. Now, you heard Summers. You heard the president. Saudi Arabia is pushing back. They're saying, wait a minute. You guys don't, they're pretty much echoing what Summers said. Your problem is of your own making.
Saudi Arabia does not politicize oil or oil decisions. Oil is not a weapon. It's not a fighter plane. It's not a tank. You can't shoot it. You can't do anything with it. We look at oil as a commodity, and we look at oil as important to the global economy in which we have a huge stake. The idea that Saudi Arabia would do this to harm the U.S. or to be in any way politically involved is absolutely not correct at all. With due respect, the reason you have high prices in the United States is because you have a refining shortage that has been in existence for more than 20 years. You haven't built refineries in decades. You have now, unfortunately, and my condolences to the victims and to those who were injured, I wish the quick, speedy recovery. You have accidents that happened in a refinery in California, and you have a number of refineries in the Midwest that were shut down. It's as a result of this shortage of refining capacity that you have a shortage of gasoline. And
okay, so the Saudi Arabian Minister of State is saying, look, guys, you got a problem of your own making because you haven't increased your refinery production and you've been backing away from oil. He's going on to say, look, buddy, we're not politicizing anything. We're in it for the money. Do you think these gold toilet seats come cheap? Absolutely not. We're in it for the money. We've got what you need. You've got what you need. But you'd rather get it from us? Fine. You got to pay for it. Okay? This is hard time on planet Earth. This is the real deal. This is adult life. So for the administration to act like they don't know what the hell's going on is just another indication of how badly the 4 years that President Biden has received. Look, I'm not one who likes to see time fly by. Okay, I want to take it easy and enjoy my life. I don't want to look back and say, whoa, 2 years went by like that. But this country is suffering. And it's suffering such that a lot of good people are being hurt irreparably. Okay, think about the retirees who can't come back from this because now some of them may even have to dip into their principal that was supposed to be out there working for them and garnering a return. Some of them may have to do that in order just to make ends meet. And they don't have time to recover, okay, from a blow like that. So this guy's presidency, this guy being, of course, Joe Biden, needs to come to an end, and it can't have 2024 can't get here soon enough. Now, I do believe that we're going to have this red wave, and that's going to, you know, kill all this noise with regard to a lot of this guy's policies. Now, he can still write executive orders, then, you know, he can, you know, exercise power in that fashion and delay things, and he probably will because he's not going to the gas pump or the grocery store. It's not real for him or anyone around him, okay? So he doesn't internalize it. The vice president, she's out to lunch, literally, you know, figuratively. There's nothing coming from her. Or any of these hardcore Democrats, okay? Nancy Pelosi has $2,000 worth of ice cream in her freezer. Do you really think that, I don't think my refrigerator costs $2,000, okay? So do you really think you're going to see any, you know, relief being suggested from her or from Schumer? Schumer is like, he's a rich guy. He's not feeling it, right? So there we have it, guys. This is what's going on right now. But the light at the end of the tunnel may not be a train. It may just be the Democrats' realization that, you know what, we've got to back as far away from this guy as humanly possible, because this economy is hurting all Americans, except for the, you know, the absolute uber elite. All right. It's hurting all Americans. I want you to be able to continue to purchase assets. That's difficult when you're making a trip to the grocery store and you got to spend $250 where you were spending, you know, maybe $150, $175. I ran into a lady in the checkout aisle of my local Harris Teeter the other night. This lady is so sweet, and it hurts me to my heart that she has to work there, because this lady has to be in her 80s, okay? I don't know what occurred in her life that put her in a situation where now she has to work in a grocery store with the public when she should be home just relaxing and enjoying her life. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, maybe she just needs to get out of the house. I'm sure this woman could think of 1,000 other things she would rather do if she didn't need money just to get out of the house, okay? But I like to go to her line when I can because I like to talk to her. She's just a sweet lady. And we were talking last night, and she was telling me how these prices have hurt her bad. And she was saying that she has to now take time to really go through and search for bargains. And, you know, there's some things that she's not able to get anymore. And she's had to change her diet. And I'm like, oh, man. And I don't even want to think about, you know, what has to happen if she needs certain types of medications. You know what I mean? So she's emblematic of a whole kit and caboodle sector of the population that is suffering. Okay, absolutely suffering. And, you know, I don't know her politics. We've never gotten into that. But I really don't care who she voted for, because at this stage in her life, the woman is so pitiful. I just feel so bad for her. In any event, guys, just wanted to bring that to you so that you know that, again, there's light at the end of the tunnel. May not be a train. It may just be the Democrats waking up to the realization that people are fed up and they're about to become obsolete if they don't change course and change course fast. Now, I'm no great fan of the Republicans, because if you want to talk about one of the most mealy-mouthed, yellow-spined group of people, it is the Republicans, okay? Here in Maryland, we have a Republican Party that's an absolute joke. I mean, like Ringling Brothers style stuff going on, okay? So I'm not putting my hopes in them. But I do want sanity to come back and us to do things like drill in this country so we put more oil output on the global market, drop prices, not just for energy, but for everything connected to it, okay? Like tangentially, transportation that brings you the stuff from China and puts it into the Walmart, okay? All of that stuff, food, okay? I want those prices to come down. And if we had smarter energy policy, that would certainly happen. We did a live stream just the other day that's talking about how you need to get your money out of PayPal. Make it happen quick. Watch that video and find out why. Talk to you soon.